Hey there, I'm Mark from Spectrum Pulse, and today we have the self-titled album from Bleachers. It's probably not a good thing that for a lot of recent new albums, my first thought has been, ooh, I've got a bad feeling about this. But look, there's no way around it. When I had heard that Bleachers had signed a Dirty Hit, that's the 1975's label that struggled to promote any act not named in 1975, honestly, their promo should be better too. Likely all the worse because Dirty Hit's under the Universal umbrella, so there goes the TikTok promo. And the singles from this album had been getting a really dubious reception. As much as I had stuck up for Take the Sadness Out of Saturday Night, I was getting the impression that Jack Antonoff could be falling into bad habits, or certainly not swinging for the fences in the same way he used to. Now that's about half true with this self-titled album, because I can describe this as easily Bleachers' most personal and revealing project to date, but it does so in a way that I think for many who are expecting the anthems, they might wind up disappointed. It's mid-tempo, it's soft-spoken, meditative, where the spare atmospheric frailty of the recent production is less bug than feature and all the jittery subtleties. The sort of album that demands a patience that, quite frankly, I don't think it's gonna get. And I'll admit for a while, I was in that camp of detractors. Yes, I was on board for more consistent production overall, even if there were a few very obvious notes cribbed from Justin Vernon, Aaron Dessner, maybe even Kevin Abstract with that obvious interpolation of March on Call Me After Midnight. These were new influences to Jack Antonoff's finely tuned, ramshackle Jersey Americana, full of winsome glances, sax solos, Springsteen callbacks, and iconography that's doing a lot of heavy lifting. But look, if you don't have stronger compositions at the core to anchor these ideas, you wind up with a lot of airy, free association that just melts into the background. It's not quite Jack Antonoff's fault his production's been overexposed the past decade, but Bleachers at their best had a riotous, propulsive streak and huge hooks, and there's nothing close to the best from Strange Desire or Take the Sadness Out of Saturday Night here. It can feel almost like Jack Antonoff is rummaging through the ghost of what those songs might have been to deflect from actually making them. And look, the album can just start blurring together fast, especially in the back half. Even if I can appreciate the fluttery blur of acoustics on Me Before You, or that driving momentum on Self-Respect that really should have used more of Florence Welch alongside a rewrite of that rather tactless second verse. Hell, for as much as Modern Girl has got a distinctly odd reception as Jack Antonoff effectively playing the exaggerated version of his own formula, at least the song has got bombast and a pulse. I get why it's a single, but then I realized some of that might be part of the point. Because if you remembered the last album, in the themes so much of it was confused and angry, a desire to hold joy where it never really clicked, a frustrated aimlessness that he tried to wrap up in classic Americana but never seemed to hit the mark for him. Whereas for this project, in the wake of getting married, he seems to finally realize that his deflection from trauma, specifically his sister's death, and inner growth and a struggle there that's lingered for him for years, because if he's finally able to make a relationship work, accept love in his life, where previous albums made it quite clear he didn't believe he could, where else has he put up walls? What other elements of his life demand fresh re-examination with a new set of eyes? Who even is Jack Antonoff? Ergo, this is the rare self-titled album that's not the band's first that actually feels kind of earned. It's ego, death, and resurrection, where there is some self-effacing metatext on Antonoff's hotly debated presence in modern music, but you can tell it actually stings a bit deeper because in the process of reconsidering everything he thought he knew about himself in a city that feels increasingly unfamiliar as reference points just slip through his fingers, other voices can cut through, overpower his. Although, to be fair here, he does have a weird habit of being weirdly cavalier about tragedy that does not match his sense of earnestness at all. But at Jack Antonoff's best, he can still spin together some magic, like the gorgeously effective 1-2 punch of Tiny Moves with its jagged strings opening up into that gleaming groove, and one of the stronger hooks on the album, followed by the shimmering, slow burn love song Isimo. Yeah, it's cribbing notes from The National, and the sports lines are kind of clunky, as if I would expect anything else from Jack Antonoff. It kind of helps the populism resonate. I mean, it's on the list of his best ever ballads, but then you also have that fractured penultimate cut features a stunning and deeply touching sampled monologue from the professional skateboarder Rodney Mullen that by some miracle in the context of the song and album, it works. So as a whole, Look, I am comfortable calling this project transitional in both its sound and theme. It is by no means his best, but honestly I like it more than Gone Now, and its best, softer moments can go toe-to-toe with Antonoff's best ever ballads. I would struggle to call this great, but more than ever I am convinced that Bleachers kinda needed a project like this to recapture greatness going forward. And who knows, for slow, sunny summer afternoons, I can imagine this project going down really easy and maybe even aging well. It'll demand more patience out of you, but you know what? For once, I think it's worth it. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. If you want to see more, please be sure to like, share, drop comments, and subscribe. Yes, again, I know I got a new couch. You might not be familiar. Working my way back to it. Just needed to change there. But hey, if you got thoughts on this, where this falls in Bleachers canon, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Beyond that, though, anything else I might be able to do to improve my presentation, I'm all ears. If you all want to get involved in helping support the channel, maybe getting projects on my schedule, or hell, just arguing with me on my Discord, link to my Patreon is right over there. Once again, don't feel obligated. Tough times, I'll understand. The option is available. Till then, I'm Mark, you're watching Spectrum Pulse, and I'll see you next time.